is the Big O Show. This 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 is the Big O Show.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
We interrupt this program to bring you a special report.
Miles an hour, that's a Category 4 hurricane. 3 deaths are reported in Florida after more than 24 were killed in the Caribbean. This
I think I know what this is. Houston, we have a package. Hello?
No matter where you are, the Sloman Shield home security system guards your home. With next-gen perimeter protection, 24/7 monitoring, and interior motion sensing. And right now, get a free Sloman Shield security system and doorbell camera, all professionally installed, for free.
Shield your world, the Sloman Shield.
The lost city of Atlantis reveals its secrets at Toyota of Hollywood. Get legendary deals on over 2,000 Toyotas, like a 2024 Corolla. Not 24,000, 20,988. Unlock the wonders of 0% financing for 5 full years, 0 down. Rediscover Atlantis at Toyota of Hollywood on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
For over 16 years, EJDConstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDConstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDConstruction.com.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors and Custom Drywall can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray or Mike, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors and Custom Drywall, 305-345-3649 or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
There's just one place to celebrate our happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Plus last chance savings on a 2024 RDX. $379 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc., ownership, management, sponsors, or website. When it comes to South Florida sports teams, very few in the media have witnessed, lived, and covered it like the Big O. Let's start the program dedicated to your favorite South Florida teams with a passion that's unmatched. The Big O Radio Show is on. Here's the Big O.
All righty. Good morning, or shall I say shitty morning, or shall I say go Inter. Go Inter. They take on the Philadelphia Union tomorrow. We're going to go for that MLS Cup. That's what I'm going to tell you. And we got Panthers right around the corner. I mean, the Heat aren't winning shit, but hey, the Panthers can. Inter and the Panthers are Obi-Wan Kenobi was their only hope. Inter and the Panthers are our only hope right now. Although the Canes looking pretty good. Never know. We'll see how the Canes can grow from here. But man, that was. How many of us said, because I've already gotten that tweet, that DM, hey, this was all a nightmare, right? It was just wake me up, right? It didn't really happen, did it? And it happened. It happened. The entire season ended last night with Tua Tagovailoa's concussion. And it sucks, man. I mean, this is as bad as it gets.
This is worst case scenario for the Miami Dolphins. The domino effect to this is just absolutely brutal. First and foremost, we all want to be healthy and be happy and have a terrific life like anyone deserves. And now, obviously, we're going to wait for the medical advice, and opinions, and obviously a decision by TUA and all that kind of stuff. I get it. And I just heard Mike McDaniel's very incredibly boring ass press conference. He is the wrong person to be in these kind of moments. He's not really a leader of men, to be quite honest. He's a buddy of guys. Yeah.
Not only that, but let me ask you a question. It's been 8 hours or 9 hours, I think, since they talked to him last. They couldn't have backed that. Like, nothing's changed. I mean, what? I went home. I went to sleep.
Apparently he said in the press conference that Tua was still sleeping. He hadn't talked to him yet. So, but they are going to have a meeting shortly with the doctors and all that to start talking about what to do. They are going to start looking for another quarterback, which tells you he's headed to the IR automatically. Now, they won't say that. They asked him the obvious question, which he wasn't going to talk about, is do you think Tua should retire? He didn't want to get into any of that shit. They're leaving everything open. And we'll get into his contract stuff in a minute. I personally think, and you know me, I was not at any point about retiring the last time around, because I said there's a counter to this. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to do this. And he did it all last year and it proved it. But he went back to hero ball Tua, and yeah, that doesn't fly. I got mad at him a couple of years ago when he would continue to hold on to the ball. Remember that? And I would get pissed and I would say, look, this kid doesn't understand that he's not going to last in this league if he doesn't learn how to get rid of the ball and slide and all those kind of things. And yesterday he had the obvious moment to slide. He had the first down already. He didn't need the extra 3-4 yards that he went after and then put his shoulder into, DeMar Hamlin out of all people. And so, listen, we're all going to have opinions about this. And by the way, please, you got over 300 people watching. Please smash the hell out of the like button. It's very important, okay? He has to retire. And what happened last night proved that he has not recovered. And he'll never recover because the contact that he had wasn't anything extraordinary. It wasn't a brutal hit. None of that, dude. None of that. It was a decent football hit that anyone should get up and just walk away from. And the fact that he was concussed and hand, crumbling and everything, what's it called? Curving up or curling up. That's all you need to know, that he cannot play this game ever again. He should not play this game ever again. It is irresponsible. Look, the first go around, Tua was never going to retire. But, his family brought it up because, they can bring it up and it's got to be a conversation. And it was dismissed. And he was, hey, this is my life. This is my decision. This is my passion. This is what I need to do. So you could selfishly make that decision. And I think, your family members and your friends can respect it, right? But when it happens the next time around, then it's no longer your decision anymore. Now you're being selfish because now there's an obvious problem. Before, it was an issue that, we can overcome. This is no longer an issue that Tua Tagovailoa can overcome. Why? There's collisions in football, dude. It's a collision sport. He just got concussed on a run-of-the-mill collision in the NFL. Would you call that a run-of-the-mill collision in the NFL? Yeah, if that.
Yeah, because it's almost like DeMar was just in the way.
Yeah.
It wasn't like DeMar had lowered or anything.
Right.
It hit DeMar more in like the shoulder area. It wasn't even like he ducked his shoulder down and they hit like that. It was Tua initiated, took the brunt of the blow, and this is where we are.
And he went up on, can you imagine if he went up against Ed Oliver and put his body into Ed Oliver? Anybody see, what is it, Romeo's Dead or something like that? Romeo Dying, the one of Jet Li with Aaliyah. And, right. So at the end, when he fights the guy that killed his brother and he kicks him in the head and they show the image of the spine and everything crumbling, that would have been Tua if he would have run into Ed Oliver. Romeo must die. Rest in peace, Aaliyah. So at the end of that one, if you remember that famous fight, it's famous, walks out of that fire, wraps up the burned hands, right? And that would have been Tua if he would have run into Ed Oliver. So this is what we've learned. I'm not a doctor, dude. I didn't even stay at a Holiday Inn. But this guy here can tell by what I saw last night, Tua Tagovailoa is no longer built for football at all. He cannot handle a simple collision in the NFL with Damar Hamlin, a small defensive back. God forbid that would have been a lineman. God forbid one of those people put a shoulder into him at the same time. That was scary. And this is now a decision he has to make for his family. Forget football. I'm just being brutally honest here. Okay? It is clear as this beautiful blue sky we have right now over Craig Zinn's Acura Pembroke Pines, where you can come on out and check out all the vehicles, baby. But it is clear as daylight. He has to retire. He has zero business returning to the football field. If he returns to the football field, it is incredibly selfish. It's insulting to his wife and his child and the rest of his family. That's as far as I'll go. Because at this point, he can no longer be selfish. Sorry. You're going to walk away with enough cash, dude. At this point now, you now have to do it for your lovely wife and lovely child. Because you need to be a competent father and husband. And you cannot continue to take this kind of punishment because you don't want to be a burden. You need to be a pillar of stability for them, not a burden. And so this will lead you to being a burden for your family. And you've made your money, bro. You're going to get enough of this chunk to walk away one way or another. It is time to walk away. It's time to walk away. And I know if you're the Dolphins, you can't really push them out. You got to like almost, hope for the retirement. It has to come from him and legally and all that. So you could try to save as much money as possible. So it's all up to him. But anybody that's a father and a husband like I am, like a lot of you are, you can make that first go around selfish. And he did it. And he was entitled to be selfish. I think the next time now when he meets with his family, he's no longer entitled to be selfish. Now the wife is entitled to be selfish. You know, give you an example. You want an example? Giselle Bündchen. Tom Brady. No, I'm not retiring. I'm going to go to Tampa Bay. Okay, honey. I stand by you. I totally understand. This guy's been a dick. He really hasn't given you what you needed. You need to go prove yourself one more time. Let's go down there. Let's go do it. And you win the championship. And you complete the contract the second year because you know, that's what you committed to, and she understands that. And then you pull the selfish card. But you were entitled with the first selfish card. That's my point. Tom Brady, you were entitled to pull the selfish card. And the woman was a freaking stud and backed you up. But the second time you picked the selfish card, she said, no. Relationships are two-way. Anybody been in a relationship? Anybody married? It's got to go both ways, dude. It's got to go both ways. And this one here, he no longer can be selfish. His mom has to get in his face now. His wife will get in his, I guarantee you the wife will get in his face. She doesn't look like the gold digger type. She looks like the real woman type. And the real woman at this moment is going to tell you, honey, this has got to, it's over. I can't see that anymore. I can't watch you play every Sunday, and that's all I think about every time you take a snap. And the next time your fingers are going to curl up, and your kid is getting older, and he's going to watch that. It's a lot of shit, bro. It gets deep. It gets deep. And it's obvious that his body cannot cash the checks he wants to write, to steal the line from Top Gun. And I don't have to be a doctor for this, dude. He ran into Damar Hamlin and got concussed. That's ridiculous. You and I are supposed to run into Damar Hamlin and like, all right, you know, and we get up and maybe we're a little shaken, but not even concussed. Because we ran into it. How many of us fall and hit a wall or something, whatever, and we don't get hurt? That's basically what he did. That wasn't any kind of a collision that was scary in any way, shape, or form. And you got concussed ugly from that shit? I love the kid. I believe in him as a passer. I know he can be a great passer in this league. I've seen it. I watch it. I know he's got the accuracy, but he doesn't have the durability. And that's always been his issue. And last night, it proved to be exactly what is going to bring his career down. So you'll never get to find out how good of a quarterback he'll be because he cannot be durable. So he must retire. And I'll say it. And I'm the guy that last time said, no, he doesn't need to retire. He needs to take care of himself. If he does this, then he can do it. But he has proven to us that he can't. And since he can, he now took the final blow. And everybody in that organization has to know now it's over. And you need to draft a quarterback at the end in the draft. And let's turn the page here. Let's talk about what you've got to do now if you're the Miami Dolphins. So do you go out and trade for some kind of slappy, some old fart that might get you to 500, that might get you 6 to 7 wins? That what? You get by some miracle, you get to 9 and sneak in with a wild card spot or something? For what? To get embarrassed? I've seen this story before. Well, what are we doing here? Can you pick up a quarterback right now that's going to take you to a Super Bowl? Tom Brady's not coming out of retirement for this shit. So don't. I know you idiots are already starting with the Tom Brady stuff. That's not happening. Okay. Go ahead.
The thing about also too is you also had Teron Armstead get injured.
Yep, he's got a shoulder, and he doesn't think it's serious. By the way, McDaniel said that he thinks Teron will be back soon. But again, how long can he play?
He's going in and out. Yeah. The left guard, which wasn't that good anyway,
sucked.
But now, so your whole left side of the line is.
But let's run to the left side when we needed some important yardage.
Yeah. If you're
McDaniel is such a terrible game day coach, bro. He is fucking horrible.
And like
forgive my French, he is one of the worst game day coaches in the history of the Miami Dolphins. I said this last year that he sucked as a game day coach. Nothing's changed. He is fucking horrible. He is amateur hour. He is nothing but a play designer. Nothing more. He doesn't have another quality that requires him to be a head coach. It's sad. They hired the wrong person. He's not built for this, bro. He's not built for this. Too young, too inexperienced, too emotional. Nothing about him. He just has a great mind that maybe can, design some plays for somebody, but a real coach has to know how to use them. He's not a real coach. He's a play designer. Nothing more, nothing less. I haven't seen shit. All I know is play designing from him and jokes. And so none of that flies with me anymore. I need the substance. And watching what he did yesterday, oh my God, that shit was pathetic, dude. Pathetic. Seriously. To put Chosen and Dubose in those situations against that team, how badly you needed the game, and you can't scheme other guys open, and you can't throw more to your backs and more to your tight ends, and you're counting on Robbie Chosen, bro? An airhead? Are you out of an airhead counting on an airhead? Wow. Grant Dubose has been here for a cup of coffee. The hell are you doing, bro? You think you're that smart? You're not. You're not, actually. You're not. On game day, Mike McDaniel, you don't even know what fucking down it is, bro. You don't even know what down it is. Do you know how embarrassing that is? You can't win challenges. You know how embarrassing that is? And, the one thing that has blown up for the front office now, because we have to, unfortunately, got to blame the front office with it and the head coach. You kept telling everybody, we're not worried about the O-line. We're not worried about the O-line, and we all worry about the O-line. And you know what? Eichenberg hasn't been bad, actually. But Jesus Christ, that left guard, Robert Jones, was terrible, dude. Terrible. Terrible. It's funny. They asked McDaniel why. It was Omar Kelly. Give Omar credit. He asked him why Kendall Lamb and not Patrick Paul in that situation. Do you know what balls that Mike McDaniel had for the answer was? Well, Patrick doesn't have a ton of experience, and that's kind of putting somebody in a position of failure. What the fuck is Robbie Chosen and Grant Dubose? What the fuck are you doing when you're running to the left side when both the guys are replacement players, and on the right side, they're actually playing all right? Why didn't you run to the right side? That's failure too. I'm done with Mike McDaniel. That's the other thing. I am done with Mike McDaniel. I have seen enough of Mike McDaniel, and he's not a head coach. He has no business being an offensive coordinator, much less a head coach. Okay, I've watched him. He can't call a game. He can't be my offensive coordinator. Keep him as a run or pass coordinator. That's what you do. Oh, you've designed this? Great. Let's put it in the playbook. I'll use it when I want to use it, kid. But nice job by you. Great design. That's where he belongs. He belongs doing the grunt work. He doesn't belong being the leader and making the key decisions. So I'm done with Mike McDaniel. That's for sure. That I've seen enough of Mike McDaniel. I've given him the benefit of the doubt. I complained enough about him last year as a game day coach. Last night was the nail in the coffin. 2 years and 2 games. I've seen enough. I know, I'm convinced already that he's not the guy. And it was a bad hire, unfortunately. So it's not going to look good for Greer, Allen, and McKenzie. It's going to hurt for them. I know that, unfortunately. But I got to be honest. Mike McDaniel's not the guy. And by the way, I've told people in that building, I told them last year, like, who is this guy? You know, come on, bro. Let's go. Well, he's got to get better, whatever. And he hasn't gotten better for shit, dude. Absolutely dog shit. So, nice guy, very likable human being, good person, all of that good stuff. He doesn't belong anywhere near an offensive coordinator, much less a head coach position. That's how bad it is with Mike McDaniel. He has no business even being an offensive coordinator. You really whiffed on your hire when the guy is not even good enough to be a coordinator. That's bad, dude. It's bad. You hired a guy that is maybe a position coach. That's scary shit. Remember, you can make a donation, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And we tell you that because we get 100% of the donation on Cash App or Venmo. And you can also make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation on Cash App or Venmo, which, by the way, Bitcoin, you know what? At least I got some good news. Bitcoin it was screwing around 58. It just jumped to 59, and now it's at 59,657. It's going to 60,000. So there you go. That's my team right now is Bitcoin because the Dolphins are failing me. So Bitcoin, baby, going up finally. We've been waiting for it, man. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And Jack Roldan, thank you for the Cash App, sir. I'm heartbroken. I'm at a loss today. Jack, we all are, man. Every one of us is at a loss. I'm heartbroken, dude. I feel for Tua. I got nothing but love for Tua, man. I know this is the best passer we've had since Dan Marino, and we'll never find out because the kid can't be durable. And it sucks. And let me tell you something. There's also, we have to blame the front office and especially the coaching staff, but the front office for going with it. They pulled an Andrew Luck. You know what you have, but what you had is fragile. Andrew Luck was a tree trunk. You should have built the wall of Montezuma in front of him. You should have done whatever you can to get the best offensive lineman in front of him so they can maul everybody and give him the time he needs to pass, and he doesn't take any hits. And he doesn't have to be a hero or anything like that. But you went cheap on the offensive line. You went bad with your coaches in the first year, that you didn't have coaches that could coach. You have some coaches that can coach now, but you're unwilling to spend in the middle of the line. And so you knew you had a fragile quarterback,
and you didn't do the best that you could to protect him. You drafted a guy coming off a hip surgery, and you didn't build the wall of Montezuma in front of him. Very Andrew Luck-ish. Not exactly the same, because the Andrew Luck thing was the same in the sense that you didn't do well on the offensive line, but Andrew Luck got beaten down to the point that he said, Duran, no mas, no mas, no mas. I'm done. And that's what Tua should be saying now. No mas, no mas, no mas. Because he's done. Smash the hell out of the like button. Bro, we've got over 600 people watching, only 200 likes. You guys can smash the hell out of the like button right now and get us to 500 right now like this. Like this. Make the counter go. Come on, man. Come on. Hit it. Come on. There's over 400 of you that haven't hit the like button. You don't really like us, do you? I mean, it's just, come on. Let's go with the super chats, bro. Give me the super chats, because I know I probably haven't been able to get to the first one, and I won't be able to get to it on this list here. Adolfo Folaco, please start the show with a Bon Jovi song to prevent the jump. The team is soft, no bullies, like Poyer said, and Hill is too much of a distraction. Well, it is what it is. Thank you, Adolfo. I appreciate you, and we can't do any Bon Jovi, any kind of song, because then YouTube, they penalize us. Smash it. Smash it. There you go. 264. Let's go. Smash it. Smash it. Smash that like button. We can get over 500 easy. Next up, Sean. Let's see. It is Miami 305. Glad he got his money. Good kid, but please retire. Never want to see you play a snap again. Hope that was the last play of your career. This is a man's game, little boy. Well, his body's not made for it. And I wish him the best, but nobody can argue with 305. It needs to be the last one. Next up, has to be the last one. Has to be the last one. Poor kid. He should, again, if he goes back, it is a slap in the face to his family. Johnny Pope, thank you for the love on the super chat. Imagine TJ Watt comes clean off the edge. He could die. Yeah. Dude, he ran into Damar Hamlin. Damar Hamlin didn't even try to tackle him. Just wrap him up. Just like hug him. And he got concussed. Next up. Thank you, by the way. Next up on the super chat. Johnny Pope, the problem is this isn't a good team regardless of the QB. Let it burn. McDaniel has to go. I wanted it to work, but no way. Johnny, it's hard to argue with you because, the line doesn't matter who you have at quarterback. The quarterback's not going to have time to throw. That's why I laugh at the Brady thing. You think Brady is going to come out of retirement to play behind that offensive line? Shit. Next up, Sean. I mean, there's no way that happens. No freaking way that happens. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. Johnny Pope says, since when is basic screens, RPO, pitch toss over and over genius? I just don't see it. Never have. I see Tyreek Hill being this entire offense since he got here. Facts. Well, no, they could throw to Waddle too. But they also didn't use the tight end, which is like crazy, dude. And, as I told you, when you had Gesicki the first year, and he caught 70 balls with Flo, and you can't institute him in there, you can't integrate him somehow, you're a bad coach. You can't find a way to use Jonnu Smith more, you're a bad coach. You don't throw enough to your running backs, bad coach. So, he can design some plays. That's all he is a play designer. Next up. Unfortunately, that's how we have to look at him. He's nothing more than a play designer. He doesn't bring anything else. John Geeb, it's going to be so hard to go back to the ways of pre-Tua. Just pain, brother, pain. Feels hopeless praying for Tua recovery, man. Yeah. We're kind of in a hopeless situation right now. Keep smashing the like button. Please smash the like button. Only 282, and we got over 600 people watching. Come on, man. Let's get it to 500 easy. Next up. Frankie Fresco. Let's see. He also said enough is enough. I bet OBJ won't play this season. Well, whatever. I don't really care, Frankie, but thanks for the super chat. And it's kind of sad that you're repeating for somebody else. D Wolverines 305. Big O, look, this sucks. Let's review. Coaching was horrible. Tua was not playing smart. We never addressed the O-line. We signed older players who can't hold up. You have weapons and you can't use them. Everything's a disaster right now. Nothing has worked out. Right now, the front office is, lost because everything they tried has now worked out. And then obviously everything that the coaches led them to was wrong too. Next up, Tua is smart. He's not is smart if he's not coming back. I agree, Alex. Johnny Pope again. Give us your Vrabel Ross. Vrabel. Wow, Johnny Pope. That's a fucking good call, dude. I like Mike Vrabel. I thought the Amy Adams or Stunk Adams or whatever her name is, that idiot, the daughter, she fired him. What a moron. Ooh, wow. Yes. Yeah, Mike Vrabel, bro. He'll bring some freaking toughness to this team. He'll bring some respect. I like that. I like that a lot, dude. That's a good one. It's a really good one. Now this front office won't have that luxury. They won't survive if they have to fire this guy. Because I don't think that they'll give him a chance to hire a third coach. I don't. It's hard. Sorry, I'm just being honest. And I like the guys. I like all three guys. I think they're excellent, but what they've put together has not worked, and then the two coaches has not worked out. It's hard for them to get another one. And I think a better coach would have gotten a lot more out of this team, even with the roster it is. I think Mike McDaniel is the real screw up on this team. The biggest screw up of them all is Mike McDaniel. Next up. But Vrabel is a great freaking call, dude. Huh? Okay. Oh, okay. So we're catching up, is what you're saying? So it's the last two, Beer Noob? Okay, so I'm caught up. Okay, Beer Noob, I'm tired of losing hope. Worst I've ever felt. Beer Noob, I'm with you, my brother. Thank you for the super chat, as always, Beer Noob. I'm with you, man. It's frustrating. We're all tired of this shit. We're all tired of the losing. We're all tired of the constant mistakes. We're tired of the ineptitude. We're all tired of this crap. I'm with you, man. Johnny Pope again. Damn, Johnny Pope, I appreciate you. We appreciate you big time. Thank you, sir. The only answer is Vrabel reeling in the years. Look at you. Look at you. Look at you. Yona Paritsky. Every aging, injury-prone player we've gambled on this offseason has not delivered. Tua, OBJ, Armstead, Poyer, catastrophic team building. You know, when people say things that make sense, you're not going to get an argument out of me. If you say something stupid, I'll call you out for it. But when you say something when you speak the truth, we must magnify it. We must congratulate it. And Yona is 1,000% right. Nothing has worked out. Aging players, you count on injured players, they get injured on you. You paid for a quarterback that refuses to take care of himself. Yeah, man, this situation sucks royal ass. Yeah. Alexis Palenzuela, thank you for the love on Venmo, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And remember, you can also make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation on Cash App or Venmo, which we always appreciate that. We love that. And we get 100% of the donations on Cash App and Venmo. On YouTube, we get 70%. That's why we mentioned the other one. Alexis says, thank you for your knowledge and years of service of sports, but it's time we pull the plug on Tua. I love the kid, but his life is more important. He's got to pull it, Alexis. I'm with you. I wasn't part of the Tua must retire thing last time. This time, I'm leading the charge. And I've explained it. I've put it into context. I've given you examples. Tom Brady's a perfect example. You were entitled to make your selfish decision. He made it. This second go around, a real father and a real husband, something that Tom Brady was not. I said that. I'm a father and a husband. Okay? Ooh. Woo! I got it, bro. So I get married with my wife. And I get a job in San Francisco. We have a house here. So and it's our first year. I told my wife, hey, it was really early in my career. It's like 25 years ago. And I told her, it was 27 years ago. Holy shit. Man, time flies. And it was early in my career, and I told her I got a job at a nationally syndicated sports talk show in Spanish in San Francisco. So I go, this is a big opportunity for me. It was a good salary and everything, enough salary that I could survive in San Francisco and support my wife in the house here, So it was good. It was good salary. And they offered me a 2-year contract. I signed a one-year contract with an option for the second. Because I said, okay, I told my wife, I sat down and I said, okay, look, because she supported me. This is my career. She knows that I love this, all that. And hey, man, I'm getting a shot at a nationally syndicated sports talk show in Spanish, yada, yada, all that stuff. So she's respectful of it. She respects my dreams, which is a beautiful thing, which is what relationships are all about. So I go and I told her, all right, they offered me a 2-year contract. We're going to negotiate it down to a 1-year with a option for me to pick up the second year, not them, me. So I go, so if I like it, then I'll pick up the option. I'll get an extension, and then we'll sell the house, and you'll move to Northern California, and then you can join the school system there in Northern California. And she was all for it because she was early in her career too. She's now 33 years in 32 or 33, I think it is now in school. So she was only like 5 years in. So she was willing to, my wife is a rock. That failed. 6 months in, they had to file Chapter 11. They offered me a job on the English side. I didn't want it. I wasn't going to work on that side for something that I could do in Miami. So I said, nah, I'm going to go back to Miami. Plus, I got to know the boss, and the guy was really phony. So I didn't want to continue because it just didn't like it. So I said, forget it, I'm going back. And from that moment on, I told my wife, yeah, I'm just going to make it here. I'm never moving again, no matter what. Why? Because I already put her through the hell the first time. Even though it wasn't a long time, she was willing to do it. I'm not doing it anymore. And since then, I stayed. And I've made it happen one way or another. So Tom Brady got to make the selfish decision the first go around. I got to make the selfish decision the first go around. I refused to make it the second time because I knew I had a wife I knew I wanted to have a family. I wanted to have a child. I think I've told you guys this story before. When I had my daughter, I wanted to make sure I was in the same neighborhood for her elementary, middle school, and high school. I told you guys that before. Why? I was the child that moved around. I was the kid that didn't go to the elementary that went with the junior high and the junior high that went with the high. I never went to it. I never got to experience going with basically a lot of the same friends from elementary through high school. I never got to experience that. And I said, no effing way I'm doing that to my daughter. So I believe Tua Tagovailoa is 100 times better a person than I am. Okay? And I know he's better than Tom Brady. Now's the time that he has to make a decision for his family now. He no longer can make a decision that is selfish. If he does, it's wrong. It's wrong. Your family stood by you. You scared the shit out of them with all kinds of injuries and then the concussions. And head trauma, I'm just sorry, that's not just something you want to mess around with, dude. You don't want to mess around with head trauma. So he can no longer make the selfish decision. And by the way, this scenario has probably happened to some of you out there. So you have to take other people's, emotions and love and connection and respect into account with what's going on. Let's see, what else do we have? Okay, so now we go to John Geeb. Do we start gauging college quarterbacks? Oh, yeah. They're drafting a quarterback already. John, quarterback is coming. We are now going to start talking quarterbacks for sure. Tua has to retire, dude. He has to retire. He's not durable. And then the second part is he can't be selfish anymore with his family. He can't pull a Tom Brady. Man of 1,005 holds. Tua still having problems with the snap was a bad omen. It's a bad omen is having a bad offensive line, my brother. True Fin fan, 2 words, Mike Vrabel. So True Fin fan likes it also. Who doesn't like the Mike Vrabel idea? That's a great idea, bro. Cy Laval, thank you for the super chat. This is sad, but nothing's going to change. We are at Tua's mercy with the contract, hoping for others to come in as a dream till Tua retires. Exactly. Dave Invernizzi, how many times wins can a Band-Aid QB get us? Do we tank? I would tank. You can't get anything that's going to save your season. There's no quarterback out there that's saving your season, especially behind that offensive line. So, tank. Hopefully, Mike McDaniel's smarter than Flo on that one. Hey, you know what? That might save Mike McDaniel's ass for one more year if he takes the bullet and tanks. And by the way, can you hear him about the tanking after every game? That'll be fun. That'll be fun. Peter J. FinFan, thank you, sir. I have to say Stephen Ross is equally responsible for keeping this front office together, failure after failure after failure. I love to defend it. I like the front office, but I can't defend it. I agree. I get it. Nobody looks good today, man. Nobody looks good today. Not Stephen Ross, not the front office, not Tua, not Mike McDaniel. This thing sucks, dude. It sucks all the way around. Rice Taylor, thank you for the Venmo, sir. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That's Cash Big O Show. I absolutely get your point of view, but I'm calling it now. There is no way on earth Tua retires. He's a super competitive and stubborn guy. He will believe in his mind he can stay on the field long enough so he at least gets a contract from somebody once he reaches 30. You might be right, my brother, but I think he will retire. I definitely do. I definitely do. So I don't know, man. We'll see. We will find out if he retires or not. We're gonna find out. We're gonna find out shortly because I don't think this is a thing that will drag on very long. Yes.
Do you follow Spotrac?
Yes.
All right.
167 million guaranteed for the injury. 43 million has been paid in 2024. If he retires, he'll forego 124 million guaranteed, barring a settlement. Forced into retirement, he has a right to collect 124 million, which is what I told you.
Yeah.
They have to let it play out, and he has to retire.
That, or they come to an agreement and say, "We'll pay you this
and just retire." Right.
That,
I wouldn't do that because I already gave him 42. I'm going to force his.
There was another one that was sent out earlier. I got to find it, where there's an insurance. The Dolphins have an insurance of $49.3 million on the contract.
They have what?
An insurance.
Yes.
49.3. I think Gus sent it earlier.
I saw that, but guess what that does?
I mean, it still doesn't do much. But
no, it does nothing.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't get you back your cap space.
No. That just
gets
covers,
back Stephen Ross's money.
Yes. I'm sorry. Yeah.
So that's the beautiful thing. Stephen Ross, hey, God bless him, bro. Man, he spent enough money and some of it not very smart, but what are you going to do? Eric Iskander. That's a new name here on Venmo. Thank you, sir. Very nice of you for Curse Day Night Football Recovery. Thank you for the Venmo, sir. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Thank you because we get 100% of the donation there. Ocala Joe on Cash App. Thank you, sir. Oh, just when I thought we had a chance. F. Yeah, I know, brother. I know, my man. I'm feeling it too, dude. I'm feeling it too. It freaking sucks. That's what it does. It absolutely just sucks. I'm hurting, man. I don't, maybe I haven't heard it like this because with Ryan Tannehill, I knew you didn't have much of a shot. With Chad Pennington that year, I knew it was like a novelty and it wasn't really anything serious. And plus, I told people, hey, Pennington will get you the playoffs, but that's about it. If you have Cleo Lemon and if you have whatever, I don't have a lot of hope for a lot of this shit that's gone on. So when the seasons would go to hell, yeah, okay, I'm mad, I'm depressed or whatever. This is the first time in, man, I don't know, 30 years that I really felt like you were building something, but we talked about, you got to have a better game day coach, and that has never materialized. And then, unfortunately, Tua can't stay durable. And, and so this is like, and Tua can pass, dude. That's the worst part about it is that we actually got a quarterback that can pass the stinking ball, and the kid's body can't hold up, man. And plus, they put a weak offensive line in front of him, which is, if your quarterback is taking a pounding, David Carr, Andrew Luck, or if your quarterback is fragile, Chad Pennington, Tua Tagovailoa, Sam Bradford, trying to think of fragile quarterbacks of the past. Chris Chandler. God, there, if you have those Neil Lomax, Tua's not the first guy like this. Landry with the Colts. I'm old, bro. I can name all kinds of quarterbacks from all kinds of eras that were like that too, that suffered lots of injuries. Bro, build a hell of a line in front of the guy, and you didn't. Hey, we're drafting a guy with a hip injury. All right, let's get the best offensive lineman. Let's beef up the hell out of this line so nobody touches that freaking kid. They didn't do it. They opened it up with Jesse Davis. Welcome to the NFL, busted ribs and knuckle. Well, welcome to the NFL, Michael Brockers slamming your ass. This is how we welcome the kid with a busted hip. We never did it the right way. We never protected the kid. And look what ends up happening. More concussions, and his career's over. And why? Because you didn't do your part. And then you get a smart-ass coach now that thinks he can coach the bum on the corner to become your starting guard. And that's where you kind of end up losing, you know? Pathetic. 59,665 right now for Bitcoin. Thank the Lord, bro. That's some good news there, man. Some good news. Like it. They've been talking about maybe now a half a point cut coming up. By the way, Sean, you want to hear something you want to hear some shocking shit? The government announced that it has spent over $1 trillion this year on interest payments for its $35 trillion debt. $1 trillion alone in interest payments. They're now paying, listen to this. Are you ready, Sean? We are now paying, you, me, we're now paying $3 billion a day in interest. Did you hear me? We're now paying $3 billion a day alone in interest. And if that doesn't tell you Bitcoin, I can't help you. MicroStrategy just bought $1.1 billion of Bitcoin today. You see it shooting up now? You think they know something? Hey, listen, I told you before he told you. So that's all I'm saying. So it's going to be almost 5 years now. When it gets to January, it's going to be 5 years that I've been telling you, get on the damn Bitcoin bandwagon. So $3 billion a day in interest comes out of our pockets. That's scary, dude. That is scary. Okay? Shocking. Let's see what we got here. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Carlos Narvez, thank you on Cash App. I appreciate you, sir. Very nice of you. For everyone needs to go. Players too. Vrabel. Yeah, the Vrabel. The Pope got us. It was the Pope, right? With the Vrabel one? Was it the Pope? John Pope. John Pope is, John Pope. I'll tell you what, John Pope. If I could somehow find your address. But see, the thing is, it's somebody, I could tell you to email me and they're going to say John Pope and put an email address or what. Put an address and then I'll mail him something. I would mail your ass a shirt, bro. Yeah, give him a victory cigar. I would love to mail that guy a shirt, but I don't know how I could really get his address. Oh, John Pope, send me a Cash App with your address. There you go. Okay? Because most people aren't going to pay for the shirt, so I'll send you a bonus. But John Pope, send me your address. Well, I don't know. You know what? No, somebody may do that too. No, don't do that. Don't do that. I don't know how could I get John Pope's address for real so I can confirm it.
Well, that's the problem. You can't confirm anything, so anybody could send you anything from anywhere, even if they DM you and just answer that it's him. I mean,
John, does he live here? John, if you live in South Florida, bro, you come to one of my appearances, show me your license. It says John Pope, and you give me your address, and I swear I'm going to send you a couple of shirts. I'm going to send you a couple of things. So if you make the effort to come to Hialeah Park or Caneswear or Acura Pembroke Pines or wherever we're doing a show, we'll be October 8th, we'll be at Big Cheese. If you come to one of those appearances and show me your license. So I know it's you because I want to reward you. I want to take care of you, bro. I want to take care of you. You're that's strong, man. Strong. When you guys bring it strong, that's gotta get the love it deserves, bro. That was good. Really good. That's right. Give it to him. Let me see. Where am I going here on the super chats? Okay, so now we stopped, I think, here at John Geeb. Any college QBs you like this early? Yeah, I love Shedeur Sanders. He's an accurate mofo. Love him. I need to see everybody else. I mean, I know we have Cam Ward here, but I got to see everybody else and see which ones are available. Okay, like the Nebraska kid is not available. He's too young. Peter also says, bring in Vrabel for president. There you go. Mike Vrabel for head coach would be a beautiful thing. Ray Grullon, thank you for the love on the super chat. Howdy-o, seems like a Twilight Zone episode with Tua. Sad for him big time, by the way. Nice Steely Dan shirt. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate you. And thank you for the super chat. Johnny Pope, once again, the Pope is strong today. The only good news is that we have a few sexy pieces to appeal to a new coach job. This may even be a new owner, GM, coach, and QB situation. This was a seismic game. Dolphins value at all-time high. I mean, dude, it was the perfect storm of negativity that could possibly happen to a team in one moment. And it just triggers all kinds of negative shit in every direction. Worst of all, the depression that we're all in. Fuck, man. Hate it, bro. Pedro says everything is tied up to Tua, all the extensions with the players and head coach. Big O, what is the next move or best case scenario? Like you, I am broke. I feel like this put us back multiple years. Exactly. I hate to say this, but we're all sitting here and we have to hope that Tua retires on his own. That's the best case scenario for the Dolphins. The worst case scenario is that his crazy ass keeps trying to play, which I don't think that's going to be the case. I don't think he's Tom Brady. I think he's going to think of his family. I think he's an incredibly family-oriented guy, and I think this is going to hit him, and I think he's going to realize I cannot be selfish here.
Yeah, I think that, and then also I think the way Stephen Ross is with his team and the players is ultimately, I think, and the buyout sounds like off, but I think they're going to work on an agreement and come to terms and where.
Oh God, I wouldn't. You already gave him $40 million. No, I wouldn't, bro. No. You want to play? Go ahead and take your chances. We'll put you right back out there, get concussed, and then you'll. I'm going to put you out there so you can force yourself to retire. I haven't seen the Dolphins play more of your cash.
Chris Greer, yes, I've seen him play the hardball like that.
Yeah,
but this ultimately, I feel like, is going to bring eyes to the situation, and everything seems like they kind of go player-oriented.
McDaniel's approach from Brooklyn Rob to running this team is a joke. They don't look at him as an authority figure. They look at him as one of the guys. With this approach, you get undisciplined play. Amen? And that's all we've seen. Penalties, mistakes, bad play calling. McDaniel is a joke on game day. He is one of the worst game day coaches. That's not even close, dude. This and by the way, this is all shaping up to be a Cam Cameron-like year now. I'm sorry, but that's what I'm seeing. Like I told you guys last night, and those of you that are young won't be able to pick up on it. Those of you that are older, you'll be able to pick up on this. You know who Mike McDaniel is? He's Jerry Glanville. That's it. Without the black wear, without leaving the tickets for Elvis in every game, but he is Jerry Glanville. He comes in with Mouse Davis and his spread offense. What was it called? The pistol or whatever, the gun or something. I forgot what it was called. Whatever. Run and shoot, right? That's what it is. Run and shoot and Mouse Davis and all that crap. And it was exciting, all that. And every time you pushed the Atlanta Falcons, they fell. And it was fun. He was colorful. People liked him. He was a much better talker than this guy. But it's kind of the same, kind of crap. It's a P.T. Barnum approach and no substance. And that, I'm telling you, you youngins, you don't know what the hell I'm talking about. But you older people, Jerry Glanville and Mike McDaniel, just different decades. Same shit. Johnny Pope says, I was a Canes player. I'll come down this season. Oh, man. Let's go. Let's go. Way to go, Johnny Pope. All I know is that's one of the stronger calls on the show in a long time. Peter, more dangerous than someone stupid is someone that thinks he knows everything. McDaniel, last time I felt this sick was Marino tearing the Achilles. Oh, yeah. Yeah. David Greer says, Damo, you're on point with that. Thank you, sir. I don't think Tua will want to retire. I think he won't give it up till he's dead on the field. The NFL would need to step in and say, you're not allowed to play again. Well, that'll happen eventually. That will happen. They did it to Reed, right? The tight end from Florida. They did it to Wes Welker? Or did he? Oh, right. Nobody would sign him. Exactly. Yeah. Right. The Florida tight end is it Jordan Reed? That poor kid had 4 billion concussions, and the NFL allowed him to keep playing. That was criminal what they did to Jordan Reed. Criminal. They should have forced Jordan Reed to quit a long time ago, bro. That guy was super concussion prone. And so gifted. Wow. Why is everyone saying Tua got concussed from hitting Hamlin? He got concussed when the back of his head hit the ground. Maybe not. You never know. Because the neck got spun in when he hit, and then he hit back, and then, everything started curling up. You never know. We don't know that. But what we do know is a soft NFL hit concussed him. Because that's what that was. That wasn't a hard hit or anything, dude. For him to get concussed from that means that he is very concussion prone. And I would hope that that's what the doctors are going to tell him. Like, Tua, this is bad now. You're going to be easily concussed. Because that, right, you should not get concussed from that. Should not. Unfortunately. And yes, Thomas, he's fragile. The Popester's in. My first Finns game was 1 win, 2007, Greg Camarillo. I know a Cam Cameron type season when I see it. Vrabel is our next Sperano. Oh, why'd you screw? Oh, no. Why'd you do that, Pope? Rest in peace, Tony, but we want nobody to be like you. Sorry. Nice man, but no. I don't want a guy that loves field goals.
If that's what's going to happen, Jason Sanders, the fantasy team right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Johnny comes in. This is going to get ugly. 5 wins max. Man, I want a tank season. I don't want more than. I don't want more than one more win, bro. I don't even want you to win another game. To be quite honest, I want you to have the number 1 pick and have the pick of the litter for the quarterback. I don't think any wins does you any good from here on out. To be quiet. And I know you got to play, you got to coach it. And McDaniel will coach his ass off and try to win and all that. But, I mean, it's not like I'm really scared that McDaniel can actually coach his way to victories anyway.
I was going to say, you want him to coach, right?
Yeah.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Yeah, exactly. So the question is, what quarterback do they go get? Because they're going to go get a veteran quarterback. All right, let's do it. Manny Navarro's ready to go with our Canes, where Miami Hurricanes report.
The viewpoint, statements, or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyXS.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. If you're a Miami sports fan, there's only one store to go to, and that's Canes Wear at Miami Fanwear in Davie. They're your one-stop shop for all your inner Miami CF, Canes, Dolphins, Panthers, and Marlins merchandise. They have hats, t-shirts, game day jerseys, and so much more. Located at 2655 South University Drive in Davie, and open 24/7 online at caneswear.com or innermiamiwear.com. Call them at 954-835-5597. Caneswear, the spot where inner Miami and all Miami sports fans shop. Time for Canes fans to get what they want. Information, insight, and perspective. It's the Canes Wear Miami Hurricanes Report with Manny Navarro. Exclusively on the Big O Radio Show. Here's Big O and insider Manny Navarro.
Ride. There he is, locked and loaded and ready to go. What'd you think of last night? Holy shit. Wow.
Well, as I've told a lot of my friends, this is the best case scenario in terms of allowing the franchise to move forward and to draft a quarterback of the future. Had this happened in week 13 when this team was competing for a playoff spot or trying to compete for a playoff spot, I think it'd be much more devastating, right? Because you'd be invested in this season. Now at least you know you have to go out and get a quarterback of the future and, move on.
Yeah, now we'll see if McDaniel can do what Flo was refusing to do. Hey, asshole, tank.
He may not have to try very hard, though.
No, the way he coaches, holy shit, dude. I'm serious. Like, there's no doubt that he has a great mind for play design.
Mm-hmm.
But game day coaching, bro, wow, it is.
I got a lot of opinions on the Dolphins.
He's a space cadet right now, bro. He's a
for
space
sure. For sure. And I would say this, they're just poorly constructed. How you draft a quarterback with his injury history to begin with what he went through in college at Alabama, which was a serious injury, hip injury.
Yeah.
And then decide, well, we're just going to get him a bunch of speedy wide receivers and running backs, and that's how we're going to make him great without giving him offensive linemen. It's just dumb. So to me, my issues are with the organization. How do you construct a team like that when you've got a quarterback who already was damaged goods coming in?
Very Andrew Luckish.
Yes.
Not that Andrew Luck was injury prone. He became injury prone because he took the beating, but you knew you had a great quarterback and then you don't invest in the line. And then not only that, you drafted a guy with a bad hip and you have Jesse Davis protecting him. And, Michael Brockers is slamming him from the get-go. And then you end up hiring coaches who have a level of arrogance who refuse to spend money on guards and centers.
Yep.
So that, then that compounds to the already existing issue that you drafted a quarterback and you refuse to protect him. Like, how does that make any sense whatsoever? So yeah, it's poorly constructed, unfortunately. Yeah, it's all open game now. But man, that was. And by the way, you brought up a phenomenal point. That's a great point I never thought of. This is when you want it to happen, because if it does happen in week 10 or 13 or 15, and you've got a whole bunch of wins, you're way up on the draft board already at that point. You're not going to get the pick of the litter. Now you can kind of manipulate the situation a little bit and, set yourself up to have one of the top 3 picks in the draft now.
You want to get a Carson Beck or a Cam Ward. If Cam Ward and Miami end up having the kind of season they think they can, I mean, maybe he's the guy that you build around for the future. I don't know.
Shador, no.
Shador, I'm not as big a fan of. I think he makes some poor decisions, kind of reckless. But Cam Ward is a better passer.
I almost feel that he does that because he's on a bad team, and he has to do it. You know what I'm saying? Because if it's not him or Travis Hunter, or there's that one other kid, I'm forgetting his name now. There aren't a lot of playmakers there, and so it's almost like I almost feel like at times he's been, whether at Jackson State or here, he's in a position where he has to carry you more and take chances. Maybe if he was on a better team, he can just kind of go through what he's supposed to do and get the ball to the people that are, open and stuff.
Potentially, but has this organization proven to you they can draft and develop offensive linemen?
No. I mean, it's been yeah, no, it's been bad. It's been really bad with offensive linemen for many years now.
Yeah, it's been really bad. And I think, if the Dolphins want an example of how you build it, I think Mario's doing a pretty good example right down the street, right? Offensive and defensive line.
Yeah. Well, he's a former offensive lineman. He gets that. And if you don't win there, you're not going to win in the game. And unfortunately, Miami hasn't been able to punch people in the mouth on the O lines and D lines, and that's why they end up on the short end of the stick. All right, so what is the challenge this week for Miami against Ball State?
Stay healthy, stay on target, don't lose focus. You're 36.5-point favorite, look like it for 4 quarters. The one thing that is affected this program for far too long is getting into these kind of games and being unprepared and looking silly for a half because you can't get your act together.
Right.
I think what I want to see from this team is that they come in ready to take care of business and look like a top 10 ranked team. Then you can continue to believe in what they're doing there. You can start to buy in more. Hey, this is real. This isn't just, a quarterback throwing the ball over the yard, and that's why they're blowing people out. There's legitimate growth overall in the program. So that's what I want to see. I want to see them tackle well. I want to see them play a good assignment football and beat Ball State by at least 36.5 points.
Nobody's going to come back from injuries this week, right? No reason.
No reason. I think Jalen Rivers potentially could if he wanted to, but I think it's more of a matter of them getting snaps for some other guys and not rushing him back from what kept him out. I think Ruben Bain, I told you all along, I think he's most likely Virginia Tech or USF, depending on how quickly they want to bring him back.
Although I did like your idea on USF to get him a couple reps so he's more sharper for Virginia Tech. I do like that idea.
I agree. I think that's potentially what you could see. He comes back, plays 20 snaps. The other guys get in the game, do their job. I mean, they don't need him right now. And to me, let a guy completely heal over whatever it is that he's dealing with, especially soft tissue injury, so that when the games do count and you're trying to win an ACC championship, you're healthy and 100%.
Yeah, I'm with you there. On defense for Miami, who you think could have a big game in this one?
I'll tell you what, the guy that's impressed me the most has been Tyler Barron. He's got 4 sacks through his first 2 games, second in the country. Yeah, 5.5 tackles for loss, and people were saying, "Oh man, this guy's a stud. Wait till you see him." But he was coming off of a shoulder injury. I thought for sure he's going to look slow. It's going to take him a little while to get going. But he has been dominant. I mean, the sack that he had last week when he basically threw the right tackle into the quarterback and knocked the quarterback back with the right tackle was really, really impressive. You can see he's really learning how to play the game at a high level with Jason Taylor as his coach. Kind of a long, lanky build like JT, same type of player. So to me, I think that's a guy that again we gotta keep our eyes open for. I'd like to see Akeem Mesidor start to get rolling. Haven't really seen him do a whole lot so far. He's one guy, and then a lot of the freshmen and sophomores, guys that are in that front 7 that you're trying to build depth with. Justin Scott, the 5-star D lineman that they got in this last cycle. You want to see him get more work, get into that rotation because he's a stud, man. And not only that, but you're going to have a lot of big time recruits in the audience watching. So you want your freshmen to play well.
I'm with you there. By the way, Caneswear, don't forget you can use our code BIG010. You will get 10% off whether you're in person or you go online. And if you live out of town or too far away and you can't go to Caneswear, when you go online, you can use our code BIG010. But also, if you order over $99, folks, you will get free shipping at Caneswear. So check it out at caneswear.com. Manny, one more question, but it's college related, but it's also Dolphin related. What are the list of quarterbacks that are coming out?
Well, Carson Beck, I think, is absolutely number one. He's the starting quarterback at Georgia, put up legitimate numbers. I think he runs a pro offense over there, knows how to get the ball. He doesn't have necessarily elite receivers, and yet he still puts up consistent numbers every single week. I think Georgia's going to win the national championship this year. I think to me, he's the no-brainer number one pick going into the draft right now. I think after that, there's a variety of guys. I think Cam Ward is working his way up the boards. I think Shedeur Sanders is a guy that certainly NFL scouts were intrigued by. at the end of last season in terms of targeting a guy and saying he's up high on the draft board. There's other guys that I think could do it. Quinn Ewers, we'll see what he does at Texas this year. I wasn't overly impressed with Quinn last year in terms of, the way he distributed the football. I thought, his receivers made him look good. A lot of weeks they made the playoff, but I think this year he's showing you signs. He's better. He's improved. So he'll be somebody I think certainly to watch. Those are the guys. And then Jackson Dart at Ole Miss, I think, is kind of the fifth guy that I would say right now is on the radar. But we'll see how the season plays out. But for me, it's Carson Beck, who I think is the best guy right now in college.
Yeah. The Dart kid is the Ole Miss kid, right?
Yes, the Ole Miss quarterback. Yep.
Yeah, he can move around. He's got an arm, dude. He's got a nice arm.
He does. They just haven't played anybody yet this season. So we'll see when the SEC schedule cranks up and they start getting some legitimate, opponents on the schedule. But he's solid. I mean, look, there's quality guys.
I haven't seen enough of him to know about his accuracy. Is it like sharp?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't know what his completion percentage was last year, but yes, he is a solid. To me, he's a solid. He's a first round caliber type quarterback. Is he a top 10 pick? Probably not. If the Dolphins win a bunch of games and they're picking in the middle of the draft,
that's
if that happens, _maybe Jackson Dart is who you target at that point. But to me, it's Beck who's at the top of the draft.
Okay. All right. Good stuff. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And catch his work. Better yet, subscribe to The Athletic. We'll catch up on Tuesday with another Caneswear Miami Hurricanes report, my man. Thank you.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Caneswear. New store, new items, same great experience. Family owned and operated since 2010, Caneswear has the latest merchandise from the Miami Hurricanes, Miami Dolphins, Florida Panthers, Inter Miami CF, and more. Come visit us at our store in Davie on University Drive, just south of 595, or online at caneswear.com. Caneswear, the spot Miami fans shop.
All right, folks. Of course, we are here, baby. And don't forget that Welton Rayom is a proud sponsor of our program. We love talking about Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom, and bankruptcy is a big deal right now. Property damage, if you have some water damage, busted pipe, whether it's in your home, whether it's a neighbor, a condo, a townhouse, reach out to Welton Rayom. They're in Hollywood. They can take care of you anywhere you're at in Florida, because we've had listeners all over Florida. Call Welton Rayom, 954-966 4646, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. They can help you out. Call Jeff Welton, Daniel Rayom. The consultation is completely free. That way you can find out if you have a case or not. Maybe something happened to you a month ago, 6 months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. You don't know if the statute of limitations are up, and you might be able, you might have a case. So call Jeff Welt or Daniel Rayom, explain your situation, and they'll tell you if you have a case. 954-966-4646. All right, let's get to our BigCheeseMiami.com NIL and recruiting report.
We step into the world of big dreams, big moves, and big money. It's the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. After 40 years, the Big Cheese remains dedicated to serving the finest Italian dinners, pizza, pasta, subs, and salads. All of their pasta is imported from Italy and cooked fresh every day. Visit BigCheeseMiami.com. Now, let's find out who's the Big Cheese the Miami Hurricanes are working on with insider Manny Navarro.
All right. Who is the Big Cheeses? Because, when you go to the Big Cheese, you're just not going to have one cheese. You're going to have all kinds of cheeses. And so that's exactly what the Canes are doing. And, of course, Mario Cristobal. They've got USF in town. They've done the recruit thing on the road and at home. What's the scene setter for tomorrow with the recruits, Manny?
Well, you're going to have a bunch of guys coming down to watch them again. This is what happens when you become a top 10 ranked team, right? More people want to come be around your program. They want to start buying in. We talked about this in the preseason, how important it was for Mario to get off to a good start. And when you go on the road to an SEC team like Florida and blow the Gators out in the swamp, embarrass them, clown them really as you're walking off the field by talking to the recruits that are there.
You hearing that, Frankie? Huh? You hearing that, Frankie? I'm sorry. Go ahead.
When you clown the Gators in their own house, well, guess what? There's a lot of recruits that suddenly start looking at you with a little bit more stars in their eyes, right? A little more in love. So they're getting a big-time recruit this weekend to come down. Elijah Griffin, kid out of Savannah, Georgia, 5-star defensive lineman, number 8 overall player in the composite rankings, number 1 defensive lineman in the country, 6'5", 285 pounds. Everybody thinks he's going to Georgia, because he is a Georgia kid, and that's who Georgia always gets. Right. But the fact that he is going to be here for a game is a victory for Miami, because we know Miami's NIL pays well. We know that they are, when they go after top 10 guys like Justin Scott and Francis Mauinoa, they've been able to get them. So this is an encouraging sign that Elijah Griffin is actually going to be here for the Ball State game. Now, look, I'm not saying Miami's going to get Elijah Griffin, but the fact that he's coming is a show of progress for Mario and the program, because you need to keep stacking and keep stacking and keep stacking. And when you at least got kids that are supposedly going somewhere else for sure to come visit your school, that's a good sign.
Yeah, keep winning, and you'll be able to keep stacking. Now, will Elijah also get get to peruse the campus also?
I'm not sure. He, a lot of these kids, you got to remember, they're playing games themselves, right? They're in the middle of their season. So a lot of these guys end up jumping on a plane Saturday morning or even late Friday night after they finish, and they fly into town and they come and they participate as part of the game day.
The only reason I say that, it's because you're coming to town for the last 2 weeks for 2 shitty games. You're not going to have great crowds. You're not going to have that kind of atmosphere that you will have for maybe Florida State or a bigger game in the ACC or something like that you'll get a bigger crowd. And so do you impress them by at least taking them to the campus and show them, how kick-ass the campus is? That's why I wonder. Or, again, here's out of pure ignorance here on my part, maybe it's illegal. Maybe they can't even be on campus. Maybe they can make a visit to the game, but they're not allowed on campus. I have no idea what the rules are.
You can make unofficial visits as many times as you want. It's a matter of, do you get caught paying for that trip, right? Do you get caught paying for? It's all about money, right? How much does the university spend? I think obviously everybody in college football does some things around the edges, right? So I think to say Elijah Griffin won't be on campus, I can't say he won't. Is it against the rules? If it's an unofficial visit, sure. And this is an unofficial visit, so but that doesn't mean he can't go down there on his own dollar and visit campus.
Okay, all right, okay, that's good to know. Also, talk to us about some of the players they have flipped. What do we know?
Well, they're trying to flip a bunch of different guys. I think, obviously one of them is the defensive back out of Zephyr Hills, DJ Pickett. He was at the game last week against FAMU, was at the Florida game as well. I think they're going to try to get him back for the Florida State game in October to come back on campus. DJ Pickett's cousin signed with Miami last year, Booker Pickett, the edge rusher, top 100 recruit. And Pickett's uncle played for Miami, so they're trying to flip several guys. But I would say DJ Pickett is absolutely number one, high up on the board for Miami in terms of guys that they want to impress here. Derry Norris, a defensive lineman from Georgia, he's only a 3-star according to the composite rankings, but he's a guy who's been committed to Georgia Tech since June. He's somebody that Miami was really, really interested in and excited about. They really wanted to get him when he committed in June. He ended up committing to Georgia Tech, but he will be down here this weekend as well. There's a lot of different guys. I'm going through my list here. Derry Norris, TJ Alford, linebacker commitment to Ohio State, was here last week. Solomon Thomas is a 5-star offensive lineman out of the Jacksonville area. He was, he's somebody that Miami's been very high on from the get-go. I think as Florida State struggles, he's been a Florida State commitment for a year now. I think as FSU continues to struggle and Miami does well, he's potentially somebody that they could flip. So there's a long list. They got, 21 guys committed at the moment. They're the 12th ranked class, but I think, the way this season is trending, they win the ACC championship, get into the 12-team playoff. Come December, there's going to be a lot of guys wanting in on to be in Miami's recruiting class.
It's nice to, it's nice to hear that it looks like it's finally. I know that we need to see the wins against the ACC teams coming up and all that to kind of like put a bow on it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you kind of knew that all this other stuff Mario had down tight. But he wasn't going to be able to take the recruiting to the next level until you start winning those games. And beating the Gators in the Swamp really sent a message now. Man, can you imagine if they're able to, run the table pretty much or win most of your games that are left? I mean, I know technically you should pretty much win all the games that are left considering who you are. But let's just say you're human beings. You might lose a game, but okay. That really, man, by the end of the year, and you have some success in a bowl game or the playoffs, that is, dude, next year, my God, the recruiting stuff is going to go just freaking through the roof, man.
It really is. And look, he signed the 7th ranked class and the 4th ranked class. And all of those guys, I mean, they've had 16 freshmen get into a true freshman, get into a game so far. That doesn't include Markel Bell, the JUCO kid who started at left tackle, for Jalen Rivers last week. So the one thing they can show all these recruits when you're blowing people out is, hey, you're not just going to come here and develop. We're actually going to get you into games. And the way things are now in college football, you need to get guys into games. It helps develop, especially if you're going to play a 16-game schedule. If you're trying to make it to the national championship, you need as much depth as possible. So to me, everything has gone according to plan so far. They couldn't have gone any better so far the way it's gone for Miami. You've played all the freshmen, you're relatively healthy, and you're going into another game where you should blow out an opponent, and there's a bunch of recruits that want to be here to see it.
Yep. Now let's go. I mean, somehow or another, they seem to give Alabama fits. So that's a good thing for Mario because he can play the tape for 2 years in a row. Going, you see these guys in 2 weeks from now, USF, when you play them, they give you fits. So watch out. Ball State, okay, you're supposed to play them, blow them out. But it's good to have some of that stuff because that's going to help you for some of these kind of games. And, like this week, you started the interview with that, or the other interview is – let's see how you handle this and you handle success and people blowing smoke up your ass and all that kind of stuff. But something tells me we're not going to see idiots dancing on the sidelines when things are bad or something. Hell, I don't even think you'll see guys dancing when they're winning.
Yeah, and I think the best part about it is you have a quarterback in Cam Ward who cares about all that stuff, right? Like he wants you to have fun, but at the same time, if you're not playing well, he's going to hold you accountable. He'll call you out for your BS. So I think that's super important to have that kind of a leader at your quarterback position.
Big time.
It's going to rub off. This is the year, man. This is the year for Miami.
Thank God, because it ain't the year for the Miami Dolphins. That's for damn sure. Follow him on Twitter at Manny_Navarro. And, of course, visit our friends at the Big Cheese, 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue. And go get some Italian poppers and the chicken fingers and the fried shrimp jumbo and all kinds of stuff that they've got going on. The Miami slice, the Big Cheese Hawaiian. My dad, rest in peace, would love that one. Maybe Tua can go down and have a little bit of the Big Cheese Hawaiian. Now that he's going to have some time off, he can go visit the Big Cheese Miami. Manny, as always, thank you, my brother. Have a fantastic weekend. Enjoy the football. We'll catch up on Tuesday.
Sounds good, brother. Take care.
Thank you. There you go. The great Manny Navarro and our Big Cheese NIL and recruiting segment.
You've been listening to the Big Cheese Miami Recruiting and NIL Report with Manny Navarro. At the Big Cheese Miami, they continue to purchase the same high-quality ingredients that the most expensive Italian restaurants use. The difference is they serve large portions at a family price. Visit the Big Cheese at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue in Miami. Call 305-662-6855 or go to thebigcheesemiami.com. Go Canes!
Right. Ray Martinez, thank you, sir, for the Venmo. Making a Bitcoin donation. Thank you, sir. He says, prayers for Tua. Get ready for Seattle. Yes, sir. We are headed off to Seattle. We'll be headed to Seattle on Thursday. We'll start giving you all the information where we're going to appear and everything on Monday. Hey, the season may be pretty much over. I hate to say it. Got to be honest. But that's not going to stop us from going out and traveling and meeting with Dolphin fans all over the place. So we'll be hanging out with Dolphin fans in Seattle next week. We'll be hanging out with Dolphin fans in Los Angeles, in Indianapolis, and also out in Buffalo. So we'll have some fun and we'll make the best of it. It's going to be a rough season now. We'll see. Maybe this season we can spin it somehow to motivate us in another way. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. It's kind of rough to see what's going on with this team. But hey, listen, if unfortunately Tua has to retire, which is probably where we're headed, that he has to retire, the good thing is that we're going to be able to focus on the future. And it's what Manny said. You now have an opportunity, because this was early in the season that this thing happened. And now, if it happened in week 10 or 13 and you got a bunch of wins, it takes you completely out of the draft. This is the part that is kind of exciting for us. You got to admit, okay? Because we now at least, okay, it sucks that Tua's out, but at least you get an opportunity to possibly get another quarterback. And I hate to lose Tua, because Tua is just absolutely phenomenal. But what are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? He cannot stay healthy in this league. I don't want to see the kid go, but unfortunately, that's what's going to end up happening. And it hurts. But the bright side of it, at least for us this season, is, I hate to say it, if you're going to try to tank, then you tank, and maybe you can get yourself another quarterback. Would be nice. Oh, man. It's getting some weird sound there. Anyway, did any super chats come in while I was talking? Gavin, I think we should try making a move for Sam Howell. Sam Howell. See, the thing is, I don't want to throw too many resources to this, because there isn't anybody out there that's going to take you to a championship or a deep run into the playoffs. I don't want to win 6 to 8 games. I don't think that does any good to anybody. I really believe you got your full allotment of picks. Suck. You're not doing anything anyway. I think you're better off tanking. I don't think I'm sorry. I just don't think you do anything by trying to kill yourself to get to 5 or 6 wins or 7 wins. And oh yeah, we fought through the adversity and almost got to 500 with a 7-10 record. What an effort. Yeah, now you screwed up your draft position. For what? Yeah, I'm if we're gonna scratch the scab a little bit, just yank the bitch off. It's itching. It's kind of dry. Scratch. Yank it. Don't scratch. Yank it. That's what I would do. I know it's painful, but unless you have an elite quarterback, how in the hell do you win? You can't win. This team isn't elite. If they had a dominant mid-90s Dallas Cowboy offensive line and with a Buffalo Bills early 90s D-line, then yeah, okay, go get a jag of a quarterback and maybe you can, all he has to do is make a couple plays. Everybody else will carry you. Yeah, that's not the case here. It's not the case. So Skyler almost beat the Bills with the lesser team in Buffalo. I know, Uncle Grandpa, but I'm not going to lean on that, my brother. True Fin Fan says, Pope just lost a shirt. I'll take it. Yeah, the Sperano one was tough, yes. Guys, please, Skyler is not going to do anything other than facilitate a 15-game losing streak. Then he will be a local hero when he gets the number 1 pick next year. There you go. Last time I checked, Jerry Glanville won 3 playoff games in the NFL. Any Dolphin fan would take that without hesitation. Yeah, I know, but he was there for a long time. He had a bunch of seasons as a coach in a couple different spots, right? Oilers, Falcons. Did he go one more place? Yeah, that might be it. Yeah. McDaniel can't make in-game adjustments, which is sad. He looks confused once the team gets down by 7 or more. Plus, the team is just not built to win versus teams with good defenses or physical. Yeah. I remember when Dan Campbell was the interim coach for us, his first coaching experience, actually. Imagine where we would have been at this point. Yeah, but the problem is he would have never gotten here because he had to go back to the drawing board to get experience to become a head coach. That's the thing. He's still coaching? Oh, yeah. He coaches some college, like Division II and shit. Yeah. So was it the Falcons and the Oilers only? I think it was. The Falcons and the Oilers. Well, Portland State, yeah, that's different. Yeah. Dude, to think we had Dan Campbell. Yeah, but that doesn't make any sense, Thomas. None of that makes any sense. Okay, Dan Campbell, when we had him, wasn't ready, couldn't build a staff. He would have completely, failed here. So this reminds me of Chuck Liddell. Once your bell gets rung a couple times, yeah, that's it. The kid can play, but he can't stay healthy. He can sling the ball, but he can't stay healthy. And if you can't stay healthy, you can't stay in the league, bro. I mean, the guy's proven it. He was in the MVP talk the last 2 years. He can throw the ball, but he can't stay healthy. And that is very Chuck Liddell, very, what's the name of the Eric Lindros? Very Eric Lindros. Dan Campbell himself admitted he wasn't ready for it. Of course not. When he was with us, he would have failed completely if they give him the job. He didn't have the knowledge and the experience. He had to go pick it up. He went back to the drawing board, almost 10 years as an assistant coach. He went back to the drawing board and did it the right way. God bless him. Cam Ward also makes some dumb decisions, like throw across the body across the field that will burn him in the NFL if it were only that easy to draft a franchise QB. I got to see these guys in college a little bit more, and then maybe we'll start to figure out who are the passers. So Dolphins need to draft a couple of those guards for real. I'm a Canes fan. Glad to have them be this good, but it's just not as filling knowing what's happening with the Dolphins. Trying to get hype for the Canes now, but the Dolphins are making it tough. I mean, I'm hyped more about the Canes now because they're headed in the right direction. I don't know. I'm not looking at them like a national championship contender this year, but they'll be pretty good. Chris Greer once talked about an anecdotal example of an injury-prone player that he had a long career against all odds. He takes too many risks with injury-prone players. Now look at us, irresponsible. And that's going to be a fair criticism. And that's obviously something I'm sure Chris Greer knows. That, because he's had to answer that question. Let's see. Big O, are you worried about Putin? I'm not worried about Putin. Let's see. Watching the Finns get beat down with throwbacks on hard to watch. Yeah. I'm done with letting my team control my hopes and my dreams to make me happy to make it in this world. Do what you want to do and make it happen. Don't depend on outside things to make you happy. Oh, yeah. No, you shouldn't depend on the Dolphins to make you happy, bro. The Dolphins can make it extra for you, but it can't be about your life. It's sports. There's too much out of your control. You know? Great job, Greer, giving Tua and Ramsey huge extensions and money only to have both fail quickly. Ramsey, talk about regression. Now we're stuck in cap with the QB that may not play due to health issues. Yeah. Well, hopefully he'll retire because that's what he needs to do. He needs to retire. Adam, thank you for the love in the super chat. Does Shador's size worry you at all? No. No, he's taller than Tua. No. He can play, man. He's not an injury-prone guy. That was my only concern with Tua coming out of college. That was the one thing that made me nervous. That if you go back and watch the video, you'll see me say, "Look, man, that's the only thing I can't trust him in injury." And if you draft him, then you got to expect injury. But once they drafted him, I said, "Hey, man, he can play. He can throw the ball. His thing is only injuries. That's his only issue." And there it is. And it wasn't really concussions, because the only concussion he got in Alabama was when the 300-pound guys fell on him for the hip injury. And that is, that is understandable that you're concussed at that moment. You know what I'm saying? But the other concussions, it just now it has piled on. And the one yesterday came too easy. So, yeah, I mean, right now, dude, there's nothing to defend right now. You can't defend the contracts. You can't defend Stephen Ross. You can't defend the front office. You can't defend Tua. You can't defend Mike McDaniel. You can't defend the older roster. Nothing's working out now. So, those are facts. None of us can fight that shit. The only thing they could have done that would have helped is they should have done a better job of protecting the kid. And they did a terrible job of not providing a real offensive line around him. And then he did a terrible job of not understanding how to protect himself. How he didn't slide yesterday is beyond me. And I don't care about that competitor bullshit and all that. Bro, you got the first down. Slide. That's just not thinking. I don't care about the hero ball and, I'm trying to win and be a competitor and I'm trying to do too much. That's all bullshit, dude. The greatest of quarterbacks that did not want to get hit all slid, all ran out of bounds. All of them. Tom Brady, Drew Brees, Dan Marino, Peyton Manning. Not one of them is going to put a shoulder into somebody. Not one. At no point in the game. They had no business and no interest in doing that. And I don't know where he gets the idea that he can do that. That was baffling yesterday. It's sad because you pray for the kid and his family and you want him to be healthy because he's such a phenomenal human being. But my God, how can you be that dumb? You know who you are, or maybe you don't. And you still think you're a football player? No, dude, you're a quarterback. You're a passer. That's all you are. You're like Dan Marino, a quarterback, a passer. You're not a runner. You're not there to break tackles. You're not there to run over people. You're not there to outrun people. Slide, run out of bounds, throw the ball. That's what you're there to do. That's what all those guys did for their entire careers. That's all they ever did. You never saw Warren Moon wanting to take on tacklers, and he was strong. He knew what he was. He was a passer. Warren Moon wasn't going to start trying to outrun people. Yeah, he was a passer. They know who they are, bro. What are you going to do? Is Drew Bledsoe going to be outrunning people or something? Breaking tackles? No, dude. Fall down. And by the way, the one that the intercept, the pick six, You're completely out of balance. This is a stupid decision on his part, just like, diving to DeMar Hamlin. This is what makes him scary as a player. Okay, dude, you're completely off balance. You're not a strong arm quarterback as it is. Your arm is stronger. 2 weeks in a row, he overthrows Tyreek, by the way. His arm is stronger. There's no doubt. But it's still not there that you got to throw clear across the field to the out of bounds. Just take the sack there, man. Terrible decisions. It was rough, man. It was rough. By the way, please smash the hell out of the like button. Very important. Smash the hell out of the like button. You guys can easily get us over 500 likes already. Come on. Tyreek is going to be near impossible to trade, my friend, because it seems like so many of you in the fan base, the incident that happened a few days ago, you refuse to actually really point at everything that went on. It's only the cop that's a criminal. We know that. Cop is definitely a criminal, but you never, your refusal to blame Tyreek for many things he mishandled there, including going 60 miles an hour in a game or concert. You never do that. You don't even drive the speed limit there, 35 or 40, whatever it is. You can't even drive the speed limit there at that time. There's cones and pedestrians and all that. You go slow, bro. You go 5, 10, 15 miles an hour. And the way he handled, nobody does that. And so the rest of the league is going to see that and going to say, yeah, no, the cop is obviously, but look at this knucklehead. And look at all the other shit going on for him in the last 2 years. Nobody's trading for Tyreek, bro. And the cap hit that you're going to take to trade him, it's not worth it. You're stuck. Like I said, you should have never given him extra money. You should have kept him going just through this season. Now you got to pray for the next 2 years that he stays out of trouble. The rest of this year and next year, before you can literally part ways from him in year 3. Yeah, that was, as everybody knows, I didn't agree with that one. I would have waited to the end of this year to give McDaniel a new contract to prove to me that you can win in the playoffs. And if you couldn't, you're not getting a new contract. And I wouldn't have never given Tyreek the extra money. I would have let him play out this season, and I would have parted ways. And guess who actually was right again on that one? Me. Because that was not a good move. But that's all right. Whatever. It is what it is. I said what I said, and I'll stick with it. So we'll get some of them right, and we'll get some of them wrong. And that one, I will, until I'm proven wrong, I'm going to think that I'm right. So if he can stay out of trouble for the next 2 years and be really productive, then I'll tell you I'm wrong. But if he can't be productive and he can't stay out of trouble, then you got some there? Because apparently you're
It's nothing major, but Antonio Pierce was asked about the TUA concussion. And his response was, I'll be honest, I'd just tell him to retire. It's not worth it. He's going to live longer than he's going to play football. Take care of your family.
That's right.
Again, just to hear a coach, I feel like to hear a coach say that, it's refreshing, but
dude, you have no business being concussed with the impact that he suffered last night. None. The fact that he suffered a concussion from that impact tells me he will never recover again in his life. He will be super concussion prone. If you don't want to admit that, I'm sorry. Nobody's a bigger TUA fan than I am. Okay? I'm a huge believer in TUA. And to this moment, I am convinced he can pass in this league and be one of the elite passers. But he doesn't have the body. He doesn't have the durability. And his brain, unfortunately, has been banged around so much, it is now even more susceptible to concussions. And that, I am not a doctor. That's what the doctor's going to tell him. They're going to show him the video, and they're going to say, you got concussed way too easy. Way too easy. The hit against DeMar and even against the ground was not strong enough for you to be so concussed like that. Just sorry. We should be able to handle, if you're a football player, that collision. That collision was Mickey Mouse at the NFL level. That ain't Ronnie Lott cleaning your clock, bro. Sorry. It's just not. This isn't a big hit. This isn't even the one, the dirty linebacker, Milano, that pushed Tua and he went in the air and then his head, like that. Wasn't like that either. Wasn't like that either. Wasn't even, the Packer one wasn't a tough tackle. It was that he fell and hit his head. And the whiplash of it. And the whiplash of that was worse than this one. They were all worse than this one. And you got concussed. His career should be over. And that's it. And, sorry. I wasn't on board last time. This time, I'm leading the charge. And again, I'm going to use the Tom Brady example. He was allowed. He deserved it. He earned it, the right to be selfish last time. This time, he doesn't have the right to be selfish anymore. You're married, dude. You're a father. You have family. The first go around, your family, your loved ones can give you the break, like I told you. They can understand it's your passion. The next time it happens, it's a health crisis. That's when they step in. And they say, no, you cannot play again. Did you see yourself? You can't play. You can't take the hits. Somebody in his life there has to look him in the eye and say, brother, it's over. That's it. Sometimes I wonder about some of these people. I don't think Tua. I think Tua has those. But I don't think like a Tyreek has a really good friend that can check him. You know what I'm saying? And that's sad because a guy like Tyreek truly needs like a real friend that will check his ass and that Tyreek will respect him and understand that he's looking out for his best interest. And in Tua's case, I'm sure he has it because you can tell he has that kind of foundation. I truly believe that that's going to happen here in this case. The people that love him are going to say, we love you and we understood the first go around, but this time it's dumb. This time it's a bad reason. This time you're not doing it for me and for our child. That's what the wife should be saying. We don't need the money. You have enough money. You've made enough money. We can live our lives comfortably, but I'd rather have you healthy for the rest of our lives and for our child's life. It's only common sense, dude. From here on out, it's common sense. He needs to retire. And I don't know if you saw it the same way did. You see it the same way I did, that he got concussed much more easier than before? Oh, okay. All right. I just want to make sure I'm not the only one. Are you seeing it like that also out there? That he was concussed easier than before? Have you all, yes or no? Yes, you've noticed it, or you disagree? No. I just want to give me some answers on the chat board there, because I'd like to know if I'm the only one. Well, apparently I'm not, because Sean, thinks so. De Niro says yes, way easier. Eddie Lepp says yes, and that's when it gets scary. Array says heck yeah. AD Dancer says yes. Tyreek Hill needs a friend like Red from Shawshank Redemption. Man of 1,005 volts, yes. Ray Sosa, yes. Mike Monahan, is Chris Greer now more concerned about the O-line? I would hope so. That backfired on them too. Everything's backfired on them, dude. Everything. It's sad. It sucks. You know what I mean? I'm not going to take any, pride in this, but yeah, this is a bad day for our team, dude. Bad day. Larry says, yes, much easier than last night. Much easier concussed last night. Yes, back of a head touches turf and lights out. Talk about Tua. This has nothing to do with Tyreek. You refuse to talk about how bad Tua was before the injury. No, I didn't. Did I not say he was throwing bad? Did I not say he made a bad decision that he should have taken the sack instead of throwing it away? Did I not?
They didn't tune into the post game. They've only been probably listening today, I'm sure.
Oh, okay. Yeah. He played bad yesterday. He missed some guys. Tyreek Hill has Drew, his agent, be his best friend. Yeah, that's really a good friend. Alex says yes, and Jermel says yes. Steven Gonzalez says yes. That was great, Steven. Nora Cal says Tua easier to concuss now, right? So you all are, nobody disagreed. Everybody agreed that yes, he got Devin. No doubt says you noticed it immediately. Sosa, Darrell Wright, Jesse Medina. So yes. I'm sorry, Sosa's saying first round. I don't know what that means. First round what? QB? Yeah, no, it's all good. It's all good. Big O has spent years trashing Tua haters. Look at him now. Oh, well, I trashed the Tua haters that think he can't play. That has nothing to do with what happened. He can play. He can throw the ball. He can't stay healthy. That's all. I never fought that. What did I say with that? I said he's got to slide and he's got to get rid of the football. That's where I had the counter for that. But he refuses to slide. I can't help that. So he's done. It's not that he can't play the game. He can easily play the game and be one of the 5 best quarterbacks easily in the NFL. That's not the point anymore. The point is all about durability with Tua. He has no durability. He has to play with foam wrapped up because he can't take any hits. The next hit, he could be concussed. Any hit could concuss him. It's a miracle the few he took last year, he wasn't concussed on one of them. So it's not that he can't play. He can play at a high level. What he can't do is he can't play at this level because he can't stay healthy. And that's where I can't disagree with anybody on that sense. Durability is what has cost him his career. What cost others their career was that they couldn't play the game. This kid can play the game. I can't help it that these idiots can't build an offensive line in front of him to block. That way he doesn't get hit. That's kind of what you're supposed to do. I can't help it when you got an idiot running back, an idiot coach that doesn't know how to stay with the running game when it's working. But it's not because he can't pass. He can pass better than everybody we've had here since Marino by miles and miles and miles. It's not even close. So that's where my beef is. The kid can play, but the kid can't stay healthy. So the people that said durability was why you didn't want him, that's the reason why you're right. But it's not because he can't play. O has brought up his durability with Tua since his draft cycle. All you got to do is go back and look at the first video. That says it. It said, okay, you can draft him, but you got to expect injuries. And then once they drafted him, I said, okay, this kid can play, but he's, got the injury history, and that's it. I was pretty open about that from the get-go. I love him as a passer. His body, you can't ever defend his body because it is what it is. So, in the back of his head, hitting the ground, it wasn't the hit that stopped. Either one. We don't know. We really don't know. We really don't know. It might have been both. Because one crunched his neck and then the other one, he hit his back. But again, neither hit was devastating. And for him to be concussed from either of those hits, I'm sorry. You're sadly, you're now extremely concussion prone. That's the way I look at it. If he gets back on the field, there's going to be defensive players not wanting to touch this kid. Or there's going to be a defensive player that wants to put him into retirement. Some of these guys are ruthless, bro. What's the name of the Harrison guy from the Steelers back in the day? You think Vontaze Burfict is going to let up on Tua? Yeah, no, I don't think so. So when you have some of those kind of guys, I don't know if they'll let up on Tua. On a positive note, Achane was great. Yeah. Achane, by the way, when we talk about our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night, last night there weren't a lot of people to give any love to. Couldn't give it to the head coach. Hard to give it to any of the players. But there is one man that does deserve a lot of love for last night, and he gets our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
Who's last night's MVP? For your complete landscape solutions anywhere in South Florida, there's only one MVP. CuttersEdgePro.com. Here's our CuttersEdgePro.com MVP of the night.
Oh, he was injured? Is that what they said? He was injured. I mean, some guy said earlier that Tyreek Hill was their offense. No, Devon Achane was their offense. Last night, 22 rushes for 96 yards. He also had 7 catches for 69 and a touchdown. And obviously, he was a monster last week, too. Devon Achane has been one of the steals of the draft. He is a phenomenal player. And, Jalen Wright also was able to get into the game yesterday. Did not have the kind of success that I think a lot of us wanted him to have. But, man, Devon Achane has been absolutely a monster. And in a game where there wasn't a lot of things to be proud of, happy about, Devon was definitely a bright spot. Kind of like when you walk out in your home, your HOA complex, your business, and William Quigley and the boys just did their work for you at Cutter's Edge Pro. And you're like looking around going, this looks great. That's what we do in our house. Walk out, beautiful Sylvester palm, got in the backyard, got the artificial turf. The dogs love it. And you're going to love it too. Please call my friends at Cutter's Edge Pro. You can expect excellence. Tree trimming and removals, landscape design, outdoor lighting, the synthetic turf. If you have dogs, you are going to love it. Call them anywhere. Dade, Broward, Palm Beach counties, 954-472-0622. Devon Achane, our Cutter's Edge Pro MVP of the night.
The MVP of the night is brought to you by CuttersEdgePro.com. Servicing HOAs, condominiums, townhomes, commercial properties, corporate parks, and malls throughout South Florida. CuttersEdgePro.com. Providing South Florida MVP performance every day of the year.
All right. It is time to wrap it up. By the way, True Fin fan, thank you for the love on the super chat here before I wrap it up. He says, Achane reminds me of Marshall Faulk. There is a little bit of that. He's not nearly as dynamic laterally like Faulk was, but I get you. I get that there's a little bit of that resemblance is what I would go with. I like that. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you for the love in the super chat. Also says Tua can at least play QB Olympic flag football. You know what? That might be his future, my brother. Olympic flag football. I kind of like that one. Yeah, that might be it. Bitcoin, by the way, at 59,672. So we'll see if it crosses 60,000 here this afternoon. We thank the great Sean Stanley. We thank the great Larry Schlossberg, who is back there. Pat Nasto, Tony Stampone. Come on out here, man. I see all the ZDXs right in front of me right now. You can get a great lease feature. They've got 0.9% financing for 72 months. All right. And they've got a large selection out here, so you can pick the car you want, the color you want, the style you want, the model you want. But more importantly, they're the #1 volume sales dealership in the Southeast United States. You get the car you want, the price you want right here, baby, at Craig Zinn's Acura of Pembroke Pines. We will see you on Monday morning at 10 a.m. Have a fantastic weekend. Go Inter, go Canes, and hang in there, my Dolphins. It's a rough one. It'll get better one day.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.